Agenda item number 13, that is the constitutional review. And at this point I'd like to invite Dr. Jonathan Sexton, Chairman of the Standards Committee, to come to the front and give an introduction to the item.
Mr. Chairman, members, herewith are proposed amendments to the Constitution for approval by full Council. The detail of the proposed changes are summarised section by section in the cover paper, specifically in sections 3 onwards to section 10. In addition, the full detail of the proposed changes are set out in the text of the constitutional documents as track changes. Members can therefore see what it is that is being proposed for change. The covering paper also makes specific reference to 2 meetings of the Standards Committee on the 15th of September of last year and the 21st of January of this year, in which stages of the Constitutional Review Working Party's work was reviewed, received, and subject to any amendments it wished to make was then to be recommended to the full Council for adoption. So in other words, behind those 2 meetings were a whole series of meetings by the Constitutional Review Working Party, by my record 7 in all, in which, in relation to the detail of these documents, scrutiny took place virtually line by line. The point I wish to make is that this is a substantial piece of work for your consideration. I would like to place on record my thanks to Essex Legal Services for their preparatory drafting work, for their discreet, effective and disinterested advice that was offered, to the monitoring officer and to the staff of Democratic Services, whose insight and experience has excellently supported the review process, and above all, to members of the Constitutional Review Party and of the Standards Committee who have engaged in this process so positively and constructively. Their engagement has been genuinely cross-party. I am grateful for that non-partisan approach in the recognition that an effective constitution is vital to the function of all of our business. If full Council approves these proposed changes, this will complete a further of the recommendations set out for the Council by the 2014 peer review of the Local Government Association. Finally, assuming that full Council indeed passes and approves these changes, in one sense this is the easy bit. The challenge thereafter will to make these changes come alive and be adopted and lived as practice, and we will start to pursue that through a programme of training which the Standards Committee will seek to monitor and progress. Chairman, I commend these proposals for adoption by full Council. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed for introducing that item and for all the work that you have put in on behalf of this Council for us. I move then that the revised parts of the Council's Constitution as detailed in these annexes be adopted. Will the Vice Chairman second, please?
I second that, sir.
Councillor Johnson?
Yeah, thank you very much, Chairman. You will recall at our pre-meet yesterday with you that I raised some issues that a member of the public had raised with us as councillors. Mr. Howes has prepared something that he could refer to. It was reference to overview and scrutiny and witnesses and call-in. So perhaps if Mr. Howes could put that addition in now as we're progressing with this. I too am very grateful. I've worked on constitutions in the past, and this again was a very thorough job. And I think it is important that it not only went to the Constitutional Working Party but also later on to us at Standards, because sometimes things get missed in one group and then fresh eyes looking find other things. So thanks to the staff who helped us through all of this. But I'd leave Mr. Howes to cover what we discussed yesterday at our pre-meet. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor John.
Thank you, Chairman. If I'm crave members' indulgence, there was an issue which a member of the public pointed out that perhaps there was a lack of clarity in the call-in procedure in terms of the right of the scrutiny panel to actually upwardly delegate its function in relation to calling to council. So while there's a process set out for it on page 159, I think earlier on under the paragraph 15.0 on page 158, there ought to be a reference that the scrutiny panel does have that power. And what I'm suggesting is that somewhere probably before the paragraph F, we have a phrase which says that the overview and scrutiny panel may, instead of exercising the function of calling itself, arrange for the function to be exercised by full council. That complies with the law, but I think also it gives clarity, and it's quite pleasing that actually the member of the public is so interested to actually review our own constitution. Speaking to the peer review panel today, they've never ever heard of that happening in any other local authority. So.
Thank you, Mr. House. Councillor Hayton, please.
Thank you very much, Chairman. I just want to acknowledge what Dr. Sexton has said about the working party, but I think from the working party, I think Councillor Campbell and myself would like to thank him for his guidance through the difficult transcription that we had to go through. Thank you very much, Dr.